So if at any given moment you weren't tapped in, you would just hang out with your friends and just, talk to your buddy while someone's
Just
sucking your dick. Yeah. Welcome to the Mass Swingers podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Layla, and on this podcast, we are bringing real stories and experiences of non-monogamy. We wanted to highlight the fun side of unlearning monogamy and how liberating it can be.
Or how awkward it can be, or ridiculous, but how it's always an adventure. All of our stories are real, all the guests that we have are real, but their names may not be. Regardless, there's a lot to laugh about and learn about here.
We do talk about adult experiences for adult ears. So pro tip here, if you think it might be inappropriate for someone else, we do ask that you be mindful of how you choose to listen to us.
And with that being said, let's hop in.
Hi, Brian.
What's up, Layla?
How are you?
New mask.
Do you like it?
I love it.
I feel like it doesn't expose me too much, but I feel so much more awake. My other mask is so dark and you can't see anything.
You have a beautiful face and you've been hiding the entire face behind a mask.
I have been. So I'm exposing a little bit more. You guys can see some cheek. You guys can see some mouth right here. Yeah. I mean, lucky you guys.
But it's reflective, so they can't really see who you are. That's the whole point.
You don't know. You don't know me.
Exactly.
I've gotten a lot of DMs from people being like, what happened with the gangbangs? We did an entire episode about how you were going to go to this gangbang.
We did.
I actually haven't heard about it. How was it?
It was such a unique experience. It was my first, for those that didn't hear that episode, I got invited to a gangbang. And it was a friend of ours. They put together a list of 7 to 8 people that they wanted to be there. And going into it, they were saying that they wanted to group us into teams of 3 and that we would kind of tap in whenever we were ready when called to, and that there would be some fluffers. I think that was all we said. But the big deal was my wife was letting me go without her.
Oh, right. She wasn't fluffing.
She wasn't fluffing.
Oh.
Okay. So one of the fluffers didn't make it. So we were down to 2 fluffers and a filmer. So I did take my rig, and so we did have a couple rigs to film it. That was pretty cool. They were expecting some breakage. They thought that of the 9 guys they invited, maybe 6 would show up. 8 out of 9 showed up.
Wow.
8 out of 9, right?
They were excited.
Says a little bit about the woman getting gangbanged.
I mean, she's insanely beautiful.
She's gorgeous. Yeah. And they picked great people. So I think it was only my first time. Everyone else had done this before.
Oh.
So I met up with Waz, who's been on a past episode. I went to his house first just to kind of be prepped. Any kind of notes I can get. He told me exactly when to take the Viagra going into it. So when it started, they brought us in. They had drinks laid out for us. I had a glass of wine. It was a really nice setup. And then they gave us some instructions beforehand. They're like, no, know this, know that, just whatever we would want to avoid. All right. So here's the things that went different. They did not end up putting us up in groups of 3.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of the day, they needed people to jump in when
they're ready,
when your dick was hard. Mm-hmm. And you can't really control that all 3 of those penises are ready to go at the same time. I love the fluffing experience in general. They had some great fluffers who just went at it all night and seemed to be enjoying the hell out of it. So if at any given moment you weren't tapped in, you would just hang out with your friends and just, talk to your buddy while someone's sucking your dick. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that part was great. I tapped in a few times. It was fun because I was filming this thing while also being a participant. So that was interesting. At one point, I'm filming it, and there's 5 dicks all around her at once. And I'm just kind of handing the camera to each person to kind of film their own perspective.
Some POV.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
So that was fun. And she was bound for part of it at the beginning. And they ended up being able to do it was a blast. There were things about it that I loved. And then there were some things I found challenging, of course, too, right? So.
Like what?
Things I found challenging. Okay. There were condoms for the gangbang, right? So when you think about it, so let's say I'm getting fluffed in the kitchen and then I got to make it to the condoms in the living room, then make it to the person. There's just a lot of transition where you're rock solid, super hard, but then you got to go get the condom on, get the lube, wait for the next guy to finish and get out and then get in. So that transition was a little tough.
Can't someone fluff with a condom on? I've sucked dicks with condoms on.
They could, but there was none of that happening. That is a great question.
That's what I would have done. Put the condom on. I get you hard. Let's walk you over there.
But people don't like sucking dick with condoms on, right?
No, I don't mind at all. Yeah, it doesn't bother. I don't think that's a thing.
That's so funny. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me one time at a play party, and that's just because my wife wanted to suck it before it went back in someone. But otherwise, it's never really happened.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
That's what I'll do at my gangbang.
Yeah, you said you would test everyone.
Yes. Yes, that's what I want to do. Everyone to get tested, and then
yeah. I would prefer that. I told my wife if I do it again, I want to do one where the condoms aren't necessary to see how, like, I just want that fluidity, because then you can go back and forth to her mouth, back in, blah, 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 right? So that was great. The other things that were tough were, so that transition was tough. And then you can't really, they are the center of attention, like the girl. So you're not really, you can't do a lot of positions you would normally do in a one-on-one situation. And so that's something you like, even doggy style is a little different because her face has to be a certain way. You can't push her down.
Oh, so she can be with the other cocks.
Exactly. So there's a lot of stuff like that that's different. At the end, she did request a bukkake, which is, can you explain to the audience what a bukkake is?
Is when all the men come on your face.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all jerking off and they all come all over your face.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, that's hard though, because are you all trying to come like on command?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Wait, were you able to do it?
No, but I wasn't the only one. So they said she wants a bukkake, but no pressure. And when they said the no pressure, I was like, what does that mean? Like, do some people not like that, or they don't want to be around that? But they meant if you can't, don't worry about it. Don't feel bad. And so of the 8 guys involved, I want to say 4 of them.
That's great.
Were able to do it.
No, that's really good.
I did try. I got so close.
Damn.
And I was really
Is it
bummed.
just the fact that you're just like around all the people? Was there too much like stimulation? Is that why it was hard?
I don't know. I think part of it was the stimulation. I think part of it was just the pressure of I'm not a porn star, right? It's like I can't
come on demand.
And there's a lot going on. There's multiple cameras in your face at this point. I'm the last guy trying, right? So there's multiple cameras in their face. She's expecting it, and it just didn't happen. But I went for it, and I'm proud that I tried.
No, I'm proud of you too. Were the cameras showing faces?
No.
Oh.
No, and then so we recorded on 2 phones. One was their phone and one was mine. And then I sent them the footage and I deleted it all right after I was done.
Oh, okay.
It was purely for their purposes, and we didn't show any footage.
Okay. Oh, damn it. I really want to see it.
But it was hot. I mean, I think she got everything she wanted, and that's what it was all about. And I'm also realizing how much like they are the center of attention, and you're really just there to tap in whenever you need to.
Right.
And so then I was only involved with her, like, I don't know, of an hour-long gangbang, I was probably in it for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's it. Interesting.
Like at various levels. Like maybe I'm getting my dick sucked with a couple people at once. I was filming. I was definitely contributing. But I mean, in penetration, like think about it, an hour split across 8 people.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Did you come at all? Like
no, not till I got home.
Okay. So when you got home, you were like, wife, I'm horny.
She was at work.
Yeah.
She was at work.
Did you visit her at work and fuck her in the parking lot?
I didn't, because she had a super busy night and it was crazy. The initial intention was like FaceTime her at the party. That was the deal. She wanted to be FaceTime. She wanted to check in with the girl, see how she was doing. And then she wanted me to stop at her job on the way home and in the parking lot. But it was so busy that day that they ended up calling her in early. And what I found out the next day was she did have a challenging time with it mentally because she wasn't as tapped in as she wanted to be.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah. But shout out to my wife for one, giving me the opportunity to have this experience. Babe, if you're listening, thank you very much. And this is what made a big difference for her that she called out. The girl who had the gangbang, she called her the next day and thanked her again for letting me come. And so there was almost this like aftercare piece from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
It was super sweet.
I adore your wife. I think she's so beautiful. She's so sexy and she's so smart.
Yeah. And now I think me going to your gangbang, there's a possibility. The other girl did such a great job in caring for my wife.
Yeah.
She
made it to where maybe like future endeavors would be easier to digest because you've already done it.
Yeah, but I really want her to be there. I think she would love being
I want her to be a fluffer. Yeah. Okay, I think I told you, I don't remember if I told you this part, how I kind of wanted to do my gangbang is we have a friend that makes documentaries, like world renowned on all streaming platforms, like documentaries. And he also makes sexy films. and he's in like Hump Film Festival, like all sorts of super cool stuff. I want to do, and we can all wear masks, right? Where we're all wearing masks. He interviews me like moments before the gangbang. What am I looking for? What are my intentions? How do I want to feel? And then we go into the gangbang. We take, very artsy, and usually these videos are like 2 to 5 minutes, like the whole video, right? And then afterwards he would, and like my interview will be speaking over the video of us all like having sex. So like, would you do that?
I would.
Okay.
I have a mic for it. I have this mic. I want to record you before, during, and after. I'm going to treat you like an athlete.
I love.
So I'm going to do like before the game, halftime, and then afterwards.
Okay,
and we're
so
just going to put that footage out there. 100%.
Okay, because there's you're the only man that no, that's not true. You're the second man that I asked. The first guy that I asked is that guy from San Diego that I'm in love with. Did I tell you that he listens to the podcast? And I was like, no, you don't, because I talk about how I'm in love with you. Yeah. So, and I was like, have you ever heard me talk about you on the podcast? He's like, no, I haven't heard those episodes yet. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to be totally fucking exposed. I had no idea he listened. But I asked him and he was like, I would love to be a part of the gangbang, but like, I don't want to be on camera. Totally understand.
Right.
Totally fair.
Right.
So I need to find some other guys that are like willing to be on camera.
Yeah. How many guys do you want?
5.
5? That's
5. So invite 6.
Invite 6. Yeah,
4
don't invite 10.
Go.
Don't invite 10.
No. Because I really want to be able to give each guy like individual attention too. Like I really would like for everybody to get a fair shot. And I imagine that because where I want to do it is, have you heard of the Hotel Petit Hermitage?
Yes, I have.
Love that hotel.
That's out here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a beautiful hotel.
Oh yeah, if you're doing it in LA, then it's going to be easy.
Yes, it's kind of very like Wes Anderson kind of feel vibe, like super cute. So that's where I want to end up doing it. And they have like a topless pool at the top. We could all like lay out by the pool after or before, like have like a really fun time with it.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do.
I think what would have made it better last time, and maybe we'll do this at yours, is like afterwards, if people want to play, then let them play. Because I think that probably the fluffers might have been down to have some fun too. But it kind of ended abruptly. It was a Thursday night. And so it ended abruptly and then people kind of dispersed. But yeah, if there was like a drink to go get somewhere, I think that'd be even better.
Yeah. So I think I sent you the date. It's going to be on a Saturday in September. And the Friday before, we're all going to the Hump Film Festival because I'm being featured in a film there. So we're going to do that first.
2 films that weekend.
Yeah, 2 films actually. And then after that, we would do the gangbang that. So I'd get a babysitter for the whole weekend. Perfect. Exactly. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for yours. That would be that's going to be fun. That's going to be a good one. That would be my second one. I would do one for my wife if she was down. But like, I mean. Speaking of your wife, you said that she was like going through, like she was insecure about something. I would say she was mad at you. She's mad at me? She's mad at something you said. But she's not mad at you. She's mad that you said it. Okay. So do you remember what you said last week about my wife? That she was... I was a little intimidated by her at first. Yeah. Oh, she didn't like that. Yeah, and I think you said like she can come off a little cold. Did I say that to her face? You didn't. You said it to me. Now, I didn't deliver it that way. So Layla thinks my wife is cold, everyone. All right? No, that's not true. I don't think she's a cold person. I think that it takes a while for her to let her guard down. And I think that's respectable. That's what it is. And I think that and I love my wife to death. So not a knock on my wife at all. And I want to stay married. But she's harder on women than she is on men. And we've talked about this in the past. Like, babe, people make mistakes. Like, don't judge them because of that. And she is a little, like, if she loves you, she loves you. If not, she can be a little cold. And so I did mention that to her because she's been trying to work on it. And like what drove her crazy was she thought she had been working on it. She thought she had been doing better at it. Oh, she's been much better at it. When I first met her, I think that we were perhaps like maybe both a little like, who's this? What's the deal? You know, because you and I were so close that I'm sure she's like, who is this bitch that's like, you know, come into our lives, you know? But I've always loved her and I've always thought she was amazing. But I think because she is so beautiful and she is so smart and she is particular about who she gives her energy to, I was just like, I would be so honored to have her energy. And then I feel like once we started to get to know each other more, she's really shown me who she is and she's let those walls down. And I'm like, I fucking knew it. I knew you were fucking rad. Right. She is. But I think it's also like she gets to let go of all right, look, in this space, we meet each other in a bunch of different scenarios. I see you sober today. I might see you on some sort of substance on Saturday and you're going to behave differently. Right. And so sometimes she was taking experiences she had with people when they were under the influence of something and assigning that to the person, right? So I'll give you a great example.
our great friend from the Double Team podcast.
Yes.
Can I say her name?
Sure.
I can. All right. So Cammie.
Mm-hmm.
So at EDC, Cammie comes up and runs and jumps on me, right? Out of nowhere. I didn't see that coming. And my wife was like thrown off by that a little bit because.
Which is so interesting because we're in the lifestyle.
We are.
Like, you fuck other women.
Right.
But that bothered her.
That bothered her a little bit.
Why?
I didn't see it coming either, by the way. And we're at EDC. So like Cammie's a great person, but that day something was going on.
I've jumped into strangers' arms at EDC. Like, you know what I mean? So,
right.
but that did something, that triggered her.
That triggered her because she was like, Cammie didn't say anything to me. Right?
Okay.
But now she's looking at it. She's like, oh, Cammie's a really sweet person. She saw Cammie the other day. She was really nice to her. She asked her for some advice. She's like, yeah, man, I think I gave her a really hard time. I'm like, yeah, you did. You did.
What was your wife's first impressions of me? Be honest.
Of you. Ooh, that's a great question. I got to think back for a second.
No, you're thinking of how honest you can be right now. Because I don't think she liked me at first. I think I'm a lot of energy. I know I'm a lot for people. And I know that I'm not for everybody. And I'm confident with who I am, and I'm okay with that.
This is so awkward.
No, it's not. It's totally fine. She didn't like me at first, right?
No, it's not that she didn't like you at all. Look, I'm trying to answer this without throwing my wife under the bus at the same time.
Totally.
Layla, you're just like, I tell you this all the time, like you're hotter than you seem because you hide your physique and you hide your hotness. You're also, you are a lot of energy initially. So if someone doesn't know how to handle that or they're not expecting that, it can feel like a lot.
Totally get
for
that. Sure.
So it's not that she didn't like you.
Yeah. I probably maybe scared her.
I think she was a little like, well, I got to check my own energy around Layla.
Totally.
Yeah.
I completely get that. Does she like me now?
Yeah, of course. She wouldn't let you come over.
Okay, good. I love her. I miss her.
Yeah. But when we hooked up, I think for her, part of what made that hot was like our working relationship. It was like the taboo of it.
Yeah. It was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah, like this isn't supposed to happen. This is taboo. And it was spontaneous, all that stuff.
Very
she
spontaneous.
loves a plot. She's the biggest plot person around.
Mm-hmm. No, that was a good one.
Absolutely.
Okay, no, I adore her. There was something else that I wanted to talk about so you had texted me and you told me that someone wanted to have a really rough sex experience with you. And are you like, what's going on with that?
Well, if I want to talk about this or how I'm going to talk about it. So, all right. So, All right. Okay, let's just get into it. I'll just be honest.
Yep.
We went to a concert. We went to a concert, and all of our friends took Molly that night, but I didn't. I didn't. My wife didn't. And so, we get back to the house, and people want to party. But what happens when guys take Molly?
They can't get hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But guess who can?
Brian.
I'm the only one in the house.
Yeah.
Only one in the house, and like women are horny on Molly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I sit there, and I'm like, man, do I just like be of service? Do I just like fuck everyone? Do I just get hard
absolutely.
and have a blast? My wife's going to be mad because no one can play with her. Uh-huh. So then we were like, look, let's just don't play. My wife was like, don't play with anybody. But a friend came over, and it's someone that we just never say no to because she's so sweet. She's one of our best friends. So she was like, I really want to play. No one can play tonight. I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's do it. So we play. It's a great time. She's on Molly though. So she starts opening up a lot more than she normally opens up. Okay. And so during this conversation, we're playing and she's like, B, I just want you to like from now on, when you see me, I just want you to like take me. And like, I want it rough. Like, I want you to like choke me harder, spit on me, spit everywhere. I want you to slap me and like slap me harder than you ever slapped me before. Just like, even if I say I don't want it, I just want you to take it. I want you to, she's like, I just want you to, she didn't use the R word, but she was getting as close as she could.
Right.
To like, just own it, take it. I was like, okay, cool. She's on Molly though, right? So in my mind, I'm like, I better check in with her when she's sober.
Yeah.
But then my wife later was like, you might want to ask her husband.
Why?
How he feels about that. And that's what I wanted to ask you. So now I've had this very specific request from a spouse. And then my wife put this doubt in my mind about, man, maybe I should check in with the husband about that.
My first reaction, it's interesting because as I think about it, my reaction actually changes. My first reaction was no, it's the woman is her own person. She has her own kinks. She has her own desires. Like whatever you guys have negotiated amongst yourself is between you guys. But then another part of me is like, okay, what if she never discloses this to her partner? You're at a party, you go up to her and you slap her around and you're being real crazy. And then husband is like, what the fuck, Brian? What are you doing? You know? So if I were you, I would maybe talk to her about it again, see where she's at, and then be like, does your partner know that this is something you've requested from me? If she says no, maybe just be like, can you just kind of let him know so that way there's no confusion the next time I see you?
All right. So I should talk to her.
Yeah.
Don't go to him.
No.
Go to her.
Right.
And make sure she's talked to him about it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
And then get the green light.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, this is where CNC in front of people gets weird.
Yes.
Because now he knows and he's given the green light, but now Cody's there.
Right.
And Cody's like, what the fuck's Brian doing?
No, so I would talk to her about it and then just be like, hey, can you talk to your partner and just make sure that we're all on the same page? So like when we do this, there's, you know, he's not going to be like, what the fuck? You know, that's what I would do.
I love when she's on Molly though.
What does her name start
It
with?
doesn't matter.
Oh, fuck. You'll tell me
It doesn't
later.
matter. It's just some people, like even probably to some extent, my own wife is probably more open.
Everyone's
when
more
she's had a
open
couple
on Molly.
drinks, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, on Molly, like I am best friends with everybody. If I take too much Molly, I'm not horny. Like that's when my eyes are rolling in the back of my head, and I'm just like, I just want to watch TV or something and like chill the fuck out. But when I just like to take a little bit. And if I take a little bit, then like, yeah, I'm horny and I'm ready to go. Cody can get hard on Molly. Like we'll have sex for hours.
But it depends on how much you take.
Yeah, we just take a little bit. We don't do a lot.
Yeah, my wife too, when we do it, we'll like do a little dab.
Yeah.
So it's enough to get us going, but not enough to shut me down.
Yeah, you were the first person to ever give me Molly. Remember that?
I don't even know. Are we going to keep this in the episode?
No, we can cut this. Editor, cut this part, editor.
I'm looking at the editor.
We'll cut this part. But no, it's true. At Countdown.
At Countdown was the first time you took Molly.
Was the first time. And I didn't really feel anything that much. But I think it's because I was so like overstimulated already. And I just took like the tiniest amount. And I remember looking around and being like, I love everybody, but like just a little bit. Like,
okay. So because I did it with you too then. And like, that night, so we had come off a bad experience where we took too much. And so we, for a long time, were like taking like half a cap, quarter cap. We wanted to feel open, but not be like hardcore rolling. Because you've seen people at festivals, they're like on the floor, their friends are around them.
I've seen people at parties. I don't like hooking up with people that are like obviously rolling at parties or obviously on substances or obviously intoxicated in some sort of way. Huge turnoff.
Right.
Don't want it.
Right.
I want them to be conscious about how much they want me.
Is it okay. So for that, like you feel like it gets in the way of the passion that they have?
I think it gets in the way of like they would fuck a tree if they could.
Got it. So
and and I'm special and they should know that.
So but when they're rolling, it's like, I'm just a vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. So like if I notice that someone's rolling on Molly, a lot of the times I'll just be like, I'll see you next time.
I wish I could do it. I want to do it at a party so bad and have fun.
Yeah, I've never done it at a party. Never done it at a party. I'm not sure if I even want to because I really like to be completely in control of my body at parties because I've been focusing a lot this year on what feels good to me. Because when I first started going to parties, I was putting on a show. And that was my kink is I'm putting on a show. Everybody look at me, look at me, look at me. And this year I've been very focused on what feels good to me physically. So if I'm under the influence of something, like I don't do that. Like I usually just take mushrooms, which is funny because at the last party that we went to, it was a pool party in the day. And I usually take a little bit of like a microdose of mushrooms at night at parties and it's dark inside the house with the dark red lights and it gets me in the mood. And I took mushrooms and we were outside the pool and I got so shroomy. I just laid out naked in the sun with my friends for like 6 hours and didn't,
so you didn't play at all?
No, my trip took me into a loungy sunbathe, and it was the best time of my life. I had a great time.
Would you take Molly and do a threesome or 100%. Like a swap?
And I have.
So a smaller thing.
A smaller crew.
Yeah.
The only time I've taken Molly with another person for sex reasons, it was probably 2 years ago, and it was with that guy from San Diego he doesn't live in San Diego now. He's about to, but and we did that, and it was unbelievable.
Is that part of why you love him?
No.
Okay.
No, I just love it.
It wasn't impacted by the first Molly experience together?
No, I don't think so. I was into him like the second I saw him.
Got it.
The second we went on a date, and I'll tell you why. I think I was so into him because he wasn't all over me. He was a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah.
And if this is how I know it's a good date, is if I'm on the date and I'm thinking, I hope they like me, where before if I'm on a date with other people, it's I hope I like them.
Yeah.
So, and that very rarely does it happen where I get nervous and I'm like, I hope they like me. But with this guy, like I'm just like, oh my God, please love me. But he's actually, I don't remember if I told you this or if I talked about it before, but so he's been kind of working on himself, like sexually, mentally, like working on himself. And so we haven't played or hooked up or anything in years. It was all very platonic friendship. Mm-hmm. And Cody had mentioned, like, I was getting my hair done or something. And this guy, we'll call him Jay. He was at our house and Cody was like, hey, like, would you ever want to play with us again? And he's like, actually, I've been thinking and fantasizing about that a lot. And I'm like, oh my God. So when Cody told me that, I'm like dying, right? I'm like, okay. And, Jay is still at our house and Cody told me that in private. And I was like, oh my God, okay, act normal, act normal, act normal. And we're sitting on the couch, just like on our phone, like doing stupid shit. And he's like, Layla, can we cuddle? And I was like, really? Are you sure? Do you want to? Really? And we like cuddled and like petted each other's hair and it was so intimate and it was so beautiful. And it felt not platonic, but it was platonic, And so I'm trying not to think in my head too much about like, oh, does this mean he likes me? Does this mean that he could like maybe be in a relationship with me? So I have to like shut myself up a lot and not romanticize this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah. But like anytime I see his name pop up on my phone, I get butterflies.
And now he's going to listen to this episode.
Now he's going to listen to this episode and know. Yeah. No, this episode is going to come out and like, no, he has a lot to catch up on. He's like pretty far back in the episodes. And by the time he hears this, like hopefully, I don't know, we'll have a better idea of where we're at.
Shout out to Cody or your husband for
wingmanning.
Wingmanning.
He always
does. He's really good at that.
He's really good at that. He's really good at that because like, as everyone knows, if I'm really into someone, huge pussy, totally wuss out. So, I mean, I almost wussed out to hook up with you guys.
You did almost punk out, even when asked en route.
Yes. And I was like, no, I have to get home. Like, I was so nervous because like I was so into the idea of it all.
I think part of it is like, all right, people talk. And so like, man, if I have a bad performance, are people going to talk about that and think about like, there's so many, like, I don't knock you for it. We had a blast.
We had a blast.
Yeah. There you go. So just ask.
I know.
People aren't going to, hey, look, people aren't really going to say no. And occasionally they will, and who cares?
It's like I would almost not do anything than receive rejection from somebody that I'm really into.
I get it.
So I'd rather just never do anything.
I get it. And you're not alone. You're not alone.
What the hell is Wreck the Dress? You said something about Wreck the Dress. What is that?
So I've been married for a year now.
Yes.
Yeah. Very happy about that.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Such a dick, Layla. So
I didn't get you a present.
We had this wedding dress. Do you still have your wedding dress?
I do.
All right. How long have you been married?
7 years.
Okay. And what are you doing with that wedding dress?
It's just in a box.
It's just in a box, right?
Yeah.
Just like, but what are you going to do with it?
Okay. Well, I want to save it for my daughter.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. If she ends up wanting to wear it, because my dress was gorgeous.
You think she'll want it? Yeah.
If she wants it, great. If she doesn't.
Do you have any friends who wore their mother's wedding dresses?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah. I almost wore my mom's.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the dream. That's why you're keeping yours.
Yes.
Okay. I think for most people, they keep them and like they never do anything with them.
Right.
Right. So my wife wanted to go a different route. She wanted to wear it and just be wrecked in it.
Like sex wrecked?
Mm-hmm.
Like with just you or other people?
No. So she told me this on a Thursday. And so I immediately booked a hotel in Hollywood for that Saturday. And then I texted like a small group of friends and be like, what are you doing Saturday night? She gave me, I just threw some names out there and she was like, yes, them. So I invited, I want to say like 3 couples and a couple singles to come. It's a Saturday of a holiday weekend. So like this is Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. So of course everyone has plans. So people start trying to cancel their plans once they realize what's happening. So we ended up having one couple shows up and it was great. They came over, they were both wearing sweatpants. Like, so they just came to do business. Like,
they're like me.
They were ready. Yeah. Just like you. You'd have loved it. So they came over, they brought a bottle of champagne and like we celebrated. My wife put her dress on and then like she got the wrecking that she wanted. Like we ripped the dress up. I mean, she got used by the group. There ended up being like, there was pee play at the end.
What?
Like in the shower.
Like they peed on her?
While she wore the dress.
In the shower?
Yeah. They both tried on the dress. Like we wrecked this dress. Now listen, people, we're pretty frugal people. So in spite of like how we do in life, it didn't make sense to us to spend a lot of money on a wedding dress. We almost eloped. So this was like a $600 wedding dress from Anthropologie, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I imagine your dress was more than
I can't even tell you how much
$600.
it was. Yeah, it was the most expensive part of my wedding. Yeah.
People spend like 10, 20 grand on their dresses, right? So I get why if that's your dress, you might not want to wreck it. But this is a great idea. Or maybe like a wedding dress play party and you let all the wives.
Ooh, wait, I
wear their
love that
wedding
idea.
dresses
A
again.
wedding play party.
Yes.
Yes, where the men have to wear tuxes, the women wear like wedding dresses, and my
and it's
God.
like get use out of like, because right now at least then it's like, you know, you spend 10 grand, that's 5 grand per use.
My wedding anniversary is in October.
Okay.
We're going to have a party in October for our 8-year wedding anniversary, and it's going to be a wedding themed play party.
If you have a wedding dress and you know who you are, if you're gonna be invited to this party, try it on. Because it may not fit the same way. And there's nothing wrong with some of you.
My dress would never fit now.
Not even like you gained weight. Like some of you didn't have boobs the last time you wore this thing. So I would say try it on. The problem with wedding dresses is they like charge you a ton of money to get it cleaned.
So much, almost as much as it is the dress sometimes.
Exactly.
No, I would buy a new dress. I would want to buy a new wedding dress. I'd go and it'd be probably a couple $100. That way I could get kind of wrecked in it because I can't let anything happen to my real wedding dress.
And we can call it wedding night.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the sex everyone should have had on their wedding night, but they couldn't because you were like tired or you with friends and family.
Or too drunk.
Too drunk. Exactly.
Okay. That's
a chance to relive it. Are we doing this?
Yes. I'm 100% serious. That's the kind of party I'm going to have.
Now we have to buy another dress because
you have time.
Like it ripped. We had to leave it. I had to talk to the housekeepers in the morning in Spanish to be like, hey, that dress is trash. Like it was so big. It wouldn't fit in the little trash cans in the room, you know? So I was like, no, it's basura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Okay. So that was a fun experience.
I know we got to wrap it up.
I know, but I'm glad we got to have these one-on-one things to talk about.
No, these are the best. I love having our guests, but like we do this multiple times a week anyway. So it's fun to actually record it. And like, these are the types of conversations we're having on like a daily basis.
And the next time we have a one-on-one, I want to ask your advice on running into people or people in the space where I'm starting to realize that I think their partners don't know they're doing this. And I want to talk about it.
I actually have a story about that too.
I've been running into it. And so if you see this and like you have a story like that, I would love to bring you on to tell your story of like, yep, and this person turns out they were married for 8 years, family in Mexico. I want to hear that story.
Or if you were one of them, say you're a man who was married and like did something like that, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, because I think so much is like just having the conversation is hard. And like before people have the conversation, they do a lot of shady shit.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for next time. Get your wedding dresses ready for the wedding dress party. And until you see us next time, try something or try someone new.